Hey there, I'm Laura, and I wanted to welcome you to my studio today. I am the founder and editor of Paola Lane Magazine, and this is totally off the cuff. I came down here with my cup of coffee. I'm actually sitting at my art desk right now, and my studio encompasses both my design computer, my writing space, and my art space. And I just thought I would sit down and introduce myself to you, and just kind of chat for a moment from my studio. There's a lot of new people that have found Palo Lane recently, and maybe some of you haven't gotten to know me, and I would love to get to know you. We're still small enough that I can definitely am able to get to know my subscribers. I've gotten to know several of you already, and you have become dear to my heart. Have even met many of you, get letters, and we correspond, and that's really fun. That's what I love about having a really small business. It's actually called micro business. And before I did the magazine, I had a little company called Micro Business Mentor, because micro businesses are just so special to me, and just love to see people taking their creativity, whatever it is, and turning it into something, which is exactly what happened with the magazine. And it really caught me by surprise. And over time, I'll share more and more of my story about how it got started. But if you're here, you've probably at least read one of the magazines. Um, I now have 9 issues, and I've even gone back and updated several of them because they're all available. They're not dated in terms of they're not for a specific season, and the content within the magazines are evergreen. They're not, I try not to have them, you know, reference current events very much, as little as possible, so that you could read it in 5, 10, 20 years and it's still really relevant, because it's just really about the human heart, honestly, and what we encounter as living beings on this earth. And so these are all issues that we learn and walk through, no matter what age we are or what age we live in. But anyway, so here's all 9. It's probably better this way. They are all updated. Each one comes with a magazine, a digital copy of the magazine. So this is my first one. The very first one was called "For the Beauty of the Earth," and also each magazine has its own theme, but I always base it on either a book, a song, normally a book, or a song, poetry, something like that. And so I don't know if I should tell you what each one is, or if I should have you guys figure it out. Maybe I'll tell you in this video, but I'll ask the question before I post the video. But so issue number 1, "For the Beauty of the Earth," obviously, maybe not obvious, it is based on the hymn "For the Beauty of the Earth." And in fact, right in the front, I wrote out the lyrics and who it was written by, and it inspired me because it kind of really reawakened. I had just moved out here to Missouri on Table Rock Lake, and we are in a forest. We live in the woods, and I was really touched. And even though I moved from Colorado, where the mountains are grand, I was down in the city, but to live among so close, literally within the woods, and I just reawakened. It just reawakened my soul to the beauty of this earth and the impact of this earth and the lessons that were to be found in this earth. And I would say this is foundational to all the other issues. And so as I go through this, I'm going the wrong way here. Each one I've realized, and it wasn't planned, it just kind of has worked out this way. And I would say probably the leading of the Holy Spirit. Each one seems to be building on the other. So this is number 2. It's called Hidden Spaces. Both number 1 and number 2 were just completely redesigned, not 100%. A lot of redesign went into these. I expanded number 1. And so this is the summer. Right now it's 2024, the summer of 2024. And I've just gone back and redid specifically these two. I kept a lot of the original, all of the original content, that I added some things, and I just kind of cleaned it up a little bit. And but this one is about finding those hidden spaces, and it actually talks a lot about imagination, and it also talks about the hidden spaces in our heart and our mind, and creating those places where we can feel safe, or where we can go to kind of regroup. And I don't know if you can hear, my dog has just come down, but I work out of my home. The basement is my studio, and so you'll probably hear things. But this one is based on The Secret Garden. And so that's what this one is based on, the book, The Secret Garden. So my third one is called Favorite Things. And this one was really fun. And this one is based on that song from The Sound of Music. All of our favorite things, you know, raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. And hopefully you'll discover the themes as you go through each issue. The fourth one is called Night and Day. And I think this is the one that I did not have a particular book in mind or even a song. It was just more, what was on my heart was contrasts, in contrasts in our thinking, contrasts in the natural world. And this one has, I would say this is the one, I go back and read all of them, but this one has the one article that I actually refer back to the most often, and it's called Empowering Seasons of Ebbs and Flows, only because it really impacted me, and still does, obviously. I come back and refer to this because this is the area that I need the most growth in, because I can be a workaholic and I need to allow myself those seasons of flow. So for example, this is supposed to be my rest time, but I am videoing stuff about my business. Anyway, still learning. This one is called Love Lived. And again, I just wanted to know, I wanted to tackle the subject of what is love lived out. Because we all, I think, have our own ideas of love, and there has to be some sort of a foundational point that defines what does love look like. And so I started to tackle it just a little bit. I mean, obviously, love is a huge subject, but that's what number 5 is about. And then number 6 is By Hand. And I just wanted to celebrate the things that we create with our hands, and celebrate the beauty of the gift of being able to create. And this one I was able to interview the lady at Silver Dollar City, which is a huge theme park here in the Branson area. Included that in here. And it also touches on how I got started in art. It was in painting, and it was a result of doing research for this issue. And I ended up kind of revealing some of my journey, that art journey of getting started, and the mistakes I was making, but giving myself the grace to have a place to start. And that's what number 6 is about. Number 7 is about community, and really that piggybacks on love as well. And just the realization that we are all shaped by community, and that we also shape others within the community that we are part of. Number 8, Be Still. One of my top issues that I love, and it was probably the one I've got the most feedback on. Number 1 is probably still my all-time favorite, only because I think it was my first one, and it really opened my eyes and really set the stage for the magazine. And then I would say number 8 kind of comes in right after that. And then Imagination. is number 9. I'm getting ready to start number 10, but imagination is where we're at right now. And this one was just so fantastic. I love to dream and imagine. And my son did a little bit of work with me on this. And I'm a daydreamer. I just am. I'm a daydreamer. And so this one was personally so delightful for me to work on. Really based it on C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien. Um, I have been a fan of Chronicles of Narnia since I was a little girl, and that I include things on Mary Poppins in here, but also really wanted to touch a little bit on how our imagination can limit us um, or expand our life. So it's our imagination that really determines the course of our life and what it is that we imagine about ourselves and what we're capable of, and which really determines the kind of people we associate with, the decisions we make. And so I really wanted to touch on how powerful our thoughts are and our imagination is. So those are the ones that I've done so far based on when I'm recording this. The next one is going to be peace. After that, we have honor. I forget what else we have coming up, but each one is so exciting and just so fun. And I love to share my journey. This is almost like a personal journey as I dive into the topics. What I do is I just do a lot of research. I try to read 3 books about each topic, and at least, and then I also do other research, and I allow myself to be taught and to say, okay, what do I not understand about this topic? What do I need? What have I experienced about this topic? And also, is there anything I need to learn and shift in my own life in regards to this theme or topic? And so it's really, each one has been very personally, very transformative. And I would say my magazines are slow reads. There's purposely to be read slow, and they're all very thought provoking. That was just something I wanted. I didn't want something to entertain me. I wanted something to delight not only my eyes, because I love flipping through magazines, but I'm always a little bit just not disappointed, but I always feel a little bit empty and uninterested when I read things in magazines because I'm a very deep thinker. I love to process. I love to really consider things. And so creating this magazine was something that I wanted something to chew on. That was beautiful to look at, and inspiring, but also challenging, and also giving me, like, I wanted to feel like I just had this beautiful and lovely meal, and I'm satisfied, and I just want to chew on it and savor it, and I want it to be impactful and meaningful and relevant, and and part of just my own journey of growth and rediscovery, and being able to enjoy life. I wanted to help myself slow down enough that I could really start to enjoy life more, enjoy the little moments and the small things, and learn the lessons out of everything instead of just always rush, rush, rush from this to that and to the other, and never stopping to really consider how I'm in, when I brush past somebody, how am I impacting them? Or I didn't want to rush so fast by the trees and the flowers that I don't notice them and take notice, because they were created to bring delight to me. And I want to use my imagination, and I want to learn to be still and absorb everything. And with the community, I want to learn how to have relationships. Being part of a community doesn't mean I have to be part of every single thing, but to be aware of what community I am involved in and how that's impacting me and how I'm impacting that. And then being able to celebrate all the things that are made by people, and realize that when something is created, it has their heart in it. So even like here, I'm practicing leaves right now, but whenever I paint something or create something, or even when I create a magazine, you are getting a piece of my heart and who I am, and whatever you create and give to people, or whatever is given to you, you have a piece of that person, and it just brings so much more value and meaning to something. And then I really, there's so much anger out there. Everybody says they want to love, but reality is in our society, everybody's just so angry. Even when they're holding up signs about love, they're doing it in anger. And so I just really wanted to go, what does love look like? When there's somebody I don't agree with, what does love look like? When there's somebody I don't know, or it's a situation that's difficult, what does love look like? And so those are just some of the things. And then night and day is just more of, it just brought delight to me, but then it made me understand and think about the the contrasts in our life, and being able to embrace those contrasts. And then favorite things, being able to stop and go, you know what, I love bicycles with flower baskets on the front, and to be able to savor those things. And like, I love flowers, and so I go and I buy myself flowers on a regular basis. And it's little; it doesn't cost me much money, but it brings so much joy to my day, and it brightens up my room, and it gives me a smile. And it's something so simple. And then hidden spaces, being able to, because life is tough for everybody, and being able to savor those hidden spaces and create them. And then, like I said, I've already talked to you about the beauty of the earth, admiring the beauty of the earth. And I, that's still one of my favorites, because I learn more from nature than almost anything. And in one of my articles, in number one, it talks about the early Celtic saints and how they used to say there's two books in life, that God gave us: His Word through Holy Scriptures, and the earth. And I couldn't agree more now that I'm older and I've walked a few, I've had a few hard knocks. I've been around the block several times. And to me, the earth creation is like a new book to me, and I'm opening it up, and it just makes everything else so much more enjoyable. Anyway, and so my magazine is an invitation to go on this journey with me, and it's also an invitation to share, to invite people to share their journeys and their stories as well. Anyway, so that's just a little bit about me and the magazine, and I'll do another one sometime, and I'll tell the story of how it even got started, because that's also really interesting. And then maybe I'll do one on how I picked the name, because that's also really interesting. But anyway, thanks for listening, and for being part of Pale Lane. And if you're not part of Pale Lane yet, there are links in whatever description is part of this that shows you all the different ways. There's every Wednesday is free thought. Their thoughts and meditations, and it's free for everybody. So you can start there. And of course, then we have the magazine, and then I also have a membership group, and that is the most intimate and the most deep and involved in terms of what I pour out. So there's three ways to be part of the Pale Lane community, and I welcome you, invite you to it. All right, you all be blessed, and have a wonderful day.